pleasure of speaking with the father, Dylan Price. Very sharp, astute, rising contender in the boxing game. Tell me a little bit about your son, man, you know, about the little history on how you started him off in the sport.
Right. Well, I grew up in Philadelphia, so we always were in the gym. So I started out amateur boxing. Later on, I took a pro fight, won that fight, tried to get a couple more fights. Didn't work out. I went into the ministry, so I put that aside. But the whole time that I was training, always brought Dylan along. Everywhere I went in the gym, Dylan was there. I would take him to the fights. We have his little outfit on. They wrap his hand, they throw him in the ring. We talk about being with Zab Judah, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones, all of those guys. They knew Dylan before Dylan knew who he was. So when I let him play everything, and I coached him in everything: football, baseball, basketball. But he was about 9 years old, about 55 pounds. He had to move up to the 105. And I said, all right, that's about it. We're going to try out boxing. It's a family business. My older son boxed, my younger son boxed. So we said, all right, we'll try it. And he came in, and like I was saying, for him, it seemed like it was something that he dreamt, because when he went in there from the first day, he just said, this is what I want to do, because he'd already been around the ring. And I gave the example of like a parent or a kid that was with their parent the first couple of years and then taken away. When they bring them back, all of those things come back to remember.
Yeah, muscle memory, yeah.
Yep, so there was a kid down there who wound up being a big-time rapper too, but he was pretty good. He was pretty experienced. He was like the little king of the gym. And Dylan kept saying, I want to spar him. Coach said, no, you're not ready for him yet. He said, I want to spar him. And Dylan sparred him after being in the gym for about 3 months. Took it to him, and then he said from there on, Dad, this is all I want to do. I don't want to play any other sport other than boxing. Then from there, we started taking him different tournaments. He won a couple national tournaments, and then we re-hooked up with Floyd Mayweather Sr. So we went down there a couple summers, and he trained him, and he would take him different places. So he's been around fighters. Roy Jones and Nate Campbell would come to this fight. He was about 11 years old. They came to Philly to watch him, check him out. So he's been around these people that are great fighters, great people. So I believe that that's going to help him as he moves into whatever y'all has for us. But I believe he has a lot of talent. Still things we're working on.
Yeah.
And that's why I brought in Nate. I use the example of going somewhere, coming here. I got a GPS. A GPS will take me there. But if I had somebody that's in the car with me that's already been there, it's a lot less stressful. They can take me on detours. Don't worry about it. I don't care what the GPS is saying. You can make a left and you can still go there. That's how I look at Nate, because he's already been there. He's a former world champion. He hasn't accomplished that in training, but I got the training part. I need somebody to say, this is what he does need to do, this is what he doesn't need to do. I've been there, I know the feelings. I can't tell him that because I've never experienced that.
Okay.
With other fighters, maybe I would have taken a chance to say, well, we're going to learn together. We're going to use the GPS to get there. But with my son, we had a hiccup where we actually lost a fight in January. The guy tested positive for steroids, which is terrible in the sport in and of itself.
Yes.
But I look at that as a blessing because we don't have it on the record. But at the same time, it just shows that there's some things about this pro game that's different than what I know about the amateur game. So that's, and I used to manage fighters. I managed Jesse Hart, Mike Jones, a partner with Gabriel Rosado. So I had fighters, and a lot of times the promoters would say they need help in the corner, and the trainers would resist. And I said, if that ever comes to me and I know that I need help, I'm not going to be no fool. If I need help, I'm going to get the help. So we brought in Nate Campbell. Feel real good. We're working well together. So I think that it's going to be good tomorrow night, and even more and long term as we start learning each other even more. So I'm looking for big things for my son, looking for big things for my youngest son, who's also a boxer, Devin.
How old is he?
He's 14. He fights 15, 16. He's number 1 in the country, 95 pounds.
All right.
Yeah, yep. So the rankings just came out last week. So he's at the number 1 spot, so we're happy about that.
Another nugget there, fight fans. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Learning about the lineage, man.
That's right.
That's the precious part about, learning the backstory, man, of these fighters that's on the rise. That's what I like, absorbing all that, knowing that Dylan Price is rising, blossoming into this star, and then you have another son that's in the chute. So give or take, you're looking at, 5 to 7 years, we might be looking at, you know what I'm saying?
And he wants to, it's a good sibling rivalry, but he definitely wants to be better than his brother.
Absolutely.
And Dylan loves his brother, but stay in your place, so they're both pushing each other to work hard and to be better. So yeah, we're looking forward to him in the next couple of years too.
Hey, I appreciate a superb summation that you just gave on your son, right? Have you had a fight thus far that it kind of made you warm inside, to feel that spirit, to see your son go in there? Has he had that standout fight yet in his professional career that you look back and say, man,
no,
he's special?
We're 8 fights in, and you haven't seen Dylan Price. You've seen glimpses of him.
Okay.
And for a long time in the amateurs, we would say that, what I see in the gym is not what I see in the fight. Even though you're winning, you still didn't show them what I knew you could do. And people would come that seen him fight nationally, and then they would come and work with us and be like, whoa, I didn't know he even had those moves. So there's a lot of things that haven't been shown yet that he's still trying to figure out in the pros. So for me, if I would say any fight right now, would be the fight that we just had, because they're in May in Brooklyn where you were there. It wasn't, we both said that was maybe a B fight, but it was coming off of the steroid fight.
Correct.
So we don't know, I think I know, but I don't know what I'm going to have until the light comes on. I don't know if he's going to freeze up. I don't know if he get hit with a shot, if he start thinking this guy's on steroid and pack it in and start running. We don't know. So I liked that fight because he responded so well coming from that fight in January.
All right.
And even with that, we both said, now, you do know that wasn't a performance I'm going to say is an A. That was still a B performance. So hopefully tomorrow we can put together a B+ and move towards that A. And I don't give out A's lightly, so it's going to be hard to get it, but he'll know and we'll know. But we do know that was a B, but as far as mentality, we were glad, and apparently the powers that be were glad, because then they put us on the show box and said we want to see more. So that would be one for me.
Is that somewhat like a stigma in the sport of boxing, where they say that world champions have a difficult time raising other world champions? Do you believe that dynamic holds any merit? When it comes trainers who was former world champions, training fighters to be world champions.
Yeah, I would disagree with that. I don't really think the two correlate. If you could train, you could train.
Correct.
I could train. I've never been a world champion. I only had 5 fights.
Yeah.
But I know that I could train. And then there's others that were world champions, and you see, couldn't train a dog to sit.
Correct.
So no, I would say that's not the case. You got a guy like Ronnie Shields who is ripping it up as far as a trainer, but he never won a world championship. You have Garcia.
Robert Garcia,
who was a world champion, and look at what he's doing with his stable.
Yes.
There's a guy out of Philadelphia. Well, he's not in the Philadelphia area. He trains Tevin Farmer, Chino Rivas. You ever hear him? Well, he also had Jason Sosa. I don't know that he ever had a fight in his life. And here he is before 50 and got 2 world champions. You got Stephen Breadman Edwards that trains Julian Williams. He just got into boxing literally 6 years ago, and he now has a world champion. So I don't think it's whether you were world champion or whether you had 0 fights. If some people understand basic rules of combat.
Yep.
Very attentive to detail, and that's me. But understanding, and especially with my son, understanding that I don't want to take the chance. If I could split half the money and split half the ego with somebody that could bring something to the table, and I say, come on, let's do it.
Oh, that's a solid point, man, and that's good to know, man, because you're not trying to run this train by yourself. Because boxing is such one of those sports where you can mesh together a whole lot of moving parts to make a beautiful end result. You know what I'm saying? And all of what I see, I will tell you. You know, I was sitting up there and I assess these fighters, man. I say, man, that kid got some potential.
Okay.
You know, some crazy potential.
Right.
Just sharp with his hands, man. And we was up there talking, me and some other people I didn't know, but they were saying the same thing. They was like, man, that kid's sharp.
Right.
They said, that's the first time I seen Dylan Price. A lot of people that was sitting up there saying that was the first time they seen him fight.
Well, we usually the first fight, maybe the second fight, so most people miss us. But this is a good platform. What we're going to do being showcased here, you just got to take advantage of it.
How did he feel about that fight, his last fight in the Barclays?
Same thing, B.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he assessed himself would be all right.
Yeah. It was still, that was a fight we had studied the guy. He was not a strong puncher, but
Yeah.
a very busy fighter. So we just decided when we saw the guys that he beat, they were guys that tried to run and move from him
Okay.
and didn't realize this boy don't get tired. So that was a different style fight. We had to just stay there, take the shots, back him up. So it wasn't a boxing exhibition. It may look like he's getting off, but he's not.
All right.
We're just taking it out and picking our shots in between. So I was happy that he followed the game plan, and like I said, just happy that his mind, if he got hit with a shot or started feeling fatigued, I don't know. I think he's mentally strong, but you don't know until those lights come on. So I was happy with that.
2 more questions for you. I just want to get your assessment or input on the situation that's been going on with Jarrell Miller and now Dillian White situation.
Yeah.
You know, being that the heavyweight division was lighting up, you know, we had the potential of seeing Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder possibly for a future undisputed, but Andy Ruiz upset all of that. What is your assessment on the situation in the heavyweight, you know, with these fighters who seem to be competitive, you know what I'm saying, enough to step in there with the champs, but they taking performance-enhancing drugs and getting caught for it?
I think it's terrible, just like any boxing fan. But I think the penalty needs to be stiffer if you really want to curb this. What I'm finding out is, you know, being naive. But what I'm finding out is it seems like everybody is doing it. You see that it just happened to us.
Sure.
4 and 6 round fighters don't get tested for PEDs. It's too expensive. But for whatever reason, I'm going to praise Yahuwah, my Heavenly Father. I'm going to praise Him. I'm going to say the commissions thought something was wrong.
Yeah.
And they said, let's test this 6 round fight to see what was going on. And we found out that he was using PEDs. Now, here's the problem. If you look at his record, he's beaten 3 or 4 other undefeated fighters. So I feel sorry for them because he may have done the same. When I got a big fight, I'm going to take that, make this money and do it. So we never know. Julian Williams, if you listen to Julian Williams and Stephen Breadman Edwards, that's all that they're saying right now. We a champion. If you want to fight me, you got to sign up with VADA.
True.
If everybody is clean, why in the world, if I'm a world champion, why in the world would I not sign up for VADA to make sure that you clean?
I totally agree.
Is wrong. So what I'm finding out is it seems like it's very prevalent in the sport, more than what we know, that so many people are doing it. But I think that as a commission, the young man who took the PEDs against my son got a 6-month suspension. He could have killed my son in it. We just saw this last week.
Understood,
You have somebody that's high off drugs going into a competition with a 6-month suspension.
Yep.
You know, that should be a couple of years. In the track and field, you get caught with performance enhancement.
Yeah, it's about 24 months. Yep.
No, you get 2 years automatic. And if they stiffen the penalty, I think this kid, this heavyweight that just got caught because it's the second time.
Dylan White,
Dylan White, so he gets. I think,
he might be 4 to 8. Yep.
Yeah. Now that's you're not gonna come back from that. But that would deter others if they knew this could be a lifetime ban. This is not a joke. You know, it's not like track. You're not actually hurting somebody in cheating. You could really seriously kill somebody, injure somebody. So I'm all for testing. I think that the commissions, we had good commissioner in Pennsylvania and Greg Serb, Larry Hazard, New Jersey. I don't know why they don't, because I know those are stand-up guys and pioneers in a lot of ways. Why don't they take a stand with the ABC and say, we got to make this, our sport is being ruined. We got to make harsher penalties for this to deter others from doing it. The guy, I'm terrible with names, but the heavyweight that was supposed to fight Anthony Joshua, the one from Brooklyn, Big Baby.
Jarrell Miller, yeah.
Okay, love him, nothing, I'm not talking bad about him, but he got a 6-month suspension.
And didn't have an active license at the time, neither.
So I didn't even know that.
So manipulating the system, I'm not sure.
Okay, I got you.
You know, I'm not sure
Right, so
what
he's
it's about.
saying I'm not actually a boxer right now. So, you know, you wasn't going to fight in 6 months anyway if you fought that fight. So I was taking a chance of cashing everything in and only losing 6 months. But if that's something like a first-time offense, 4 years, you think he would have did that? I can't take that chance.
No.
You know.
All that money he lost, millions.
Yeah.
He could have been the Andy Ruiz at that time.
Exactly. So, I mean, from what I understand now, you hear a lot of fighters that are coming out saying that other fighters they know in camp got caught and they just kept it quiet. So
You saw my. I don't mean to cut you off, but you saw my interview. I ran into Jarrell Miller when I was just over there in Newark. Good dude. You know, I could tell it was weighing heavy on his mind, right? But one thing he did say, sir, was that he messed up. You know.
Anything else after that?
He says not perfect, but he did emphasize that he can point the finger at a lot of people.
See?
You know what I'm saying? So
See?
that's on YouTube. I mean, they can't say I fabricated or whatever. I put it on YouTube. That's his words.
That's it. And what maybe what he's saying is, in order for me to compete at that level, I had to do that because it's not going to be a level playing field if I don't do it, because I know all of them are doing it.
True. And for his weight, you know, he was coming in 304. You know, I think his heavy was 317, and he was just maintaining speed.
Right.
Like, that's a big dude.
Right.
And come to find out now, everybody's saying probably it was because he wasn't clean.
He never really had the power, so.
True.
Yeah, I don't know if he was, you know, we only know that he didn't do it on this.
Solid point.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wouldn't want to, you know, indict him on all of the charges, but I think he's a great guy. Made a bad decision, but even with that decision, because it could cost somebody their life, not, you know, I messed around with my wife, not, you know, I stole something from the store. You know, it could have been, you know, looked at it as an attempted assault. You know what I mean? Possibly attempted murder, because we know people die in the sport. The penalty, I'm not saying just for him, I'm saying is across the board. If they make it 4 year, 5 year from the beginning,
Yeah.
you're gonna have people think twice about it. And like I'm gonna go back to my Philadelphia brothers, what they say. Why wouldn't others demand that you be tested unless they are doing something that will prevent them from being tested?
What if a fighter signed a contract like this, Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao? I mean, you know, the speculation has been rampant. You know what I'm saying? It's been radiating throughout his 8 divisional, you know, success.
Right.
Then he comes in here and fight the younger champion, Keith Thurman, who's a former unified, and he looks great. Pacquiao.
Yeah.
So, what happens when there's no testing? Why? Why is it no testing if it's supposed to be a normality to the sport?
Sure, and with all of the allegations of him using steroids,
True.
If I was on the up and up, why wouldn't I say, hey, I want to make sure that I get this tested because
True.
I'm clean. I don't have anything to hide. That
Yeah.
was holding up the fight with Floyd for years.
Because
he
Floyd
wasn't
demanded
great
it.
for Yep.
Floyd demanded it.
So, you know, I made my own. I'm not even gonna say it because I don't have any proof
True.
on it. But at one point, he was knocking people out. He seemed that he had found religion, which is a great thing. Then he just started winning. You know, did he stop or something? But he's still a great fighter. He's never been found. He
Yeah.
never tested positive, right?
Nah.
So we can't say it for sure, but if those allegations were out there, I will make sure that I say test me on every fight, because I want to go through the rest of my career. I didn't do it early on, but I want to go through the rest of my career with everybody know I signed up for Vala. I'm a voluntary anti-doping person in every fight. And then Keith Thurman, he's not in a position of authority to make that call. If Pacquiao say no and he want that check, he got to go with it. But those
True
that are
words.
world champions, they control that. And we made it clear that when we get in a position where we can control it, everybody's just like my man, that's my friend, Breadman Edwards, but just like they said, if you want to fight us, you sign up for this. Or if not, you don't want to fight us. You know, and then ours in the 115-pound division, you're going to have a lot of fighters from overseas, or in certain places where they buy that
Asia,
like they buy,
yeah.
like they buy Pepsi. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And know what they're doing on how to use it. So, you know, that's a must. You know, we're not going to probably fight guys from Southwest Philly.
Man, Mr. Price, it's great to hear you say that, because I was thinking the same thing when I saw your son. I just be letting my mind roam like that, right? I said, so he's going to be contending against those Thai fighters, those Asian fighters,
Right.
and the drug testing is not as concurrent as it is over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that might, I'm pretty sure you know the game much more, but you already had one strike, so he's staying in that weight class. You may experience a few more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So,
And the good thing is that happened.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself in that situation, then we become the sweetest boxer there is. You get through it. Don't try to bang and slug it out and try
Yeah.
to prove how tough I am, but we get through it. And like you said, it may happen again, but I just praise my Heavenly Father that we didn't do anything. I used to manage fighters, promoted fighters, but I can't take the credit. Mayweather is a great company.
Oh, yeah.
They found out after me.
all right.
I just happened to, my partner, Dr. Wiki, happened to look on BoxRec and said, Dylan's is back up there. You know what I mean? So that's all a blessing. Nobody can take credit for that.
Yeah.
Other than, you know, Yahuwah, my Heavenly Father. You know, so I got that blessing. We're gonna learn, and when we get in position of power, we're gonna make sure, okay, you willing to get tested? You're not willing to get tested, there's no fight. But we gotta get there first.
I totally agree, man. And you know, last but not least, what do you want to say to the fight fans, Mr. Price? And you know, first and foremost, Scotty White, World Combat Sports. I appreciate the interview, man. I respect the interview, and you know, it's times like this when I get to speak to a person like yourself. You done taught me a lot. So basically, everything I know from here on out about your kids, especially Dylan Price, since he's the one that's at the top of the pinnacle right now, excelling. That's something I'll never forget.
Okay.
That's how I latch on to fighters.
Okay.
Because as a writer, I have to put pieces together. I like familiarizing myself with fighters. So when I write about them, I know how to sit up here and try to get you on the phone and say, what was that again? I can refer to this, and I can refer to what you just said.
Right. Excellent.
And everybody else can too.
Right.
So I want to see y'all see it, man. Go out here and get it, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Starts tomorrow.
Yeah, go out here and get it, man. I wish y'all the best going in there.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? When I didn't even know your son was on the card to 3 days ago. So I said, okay, you got Dillian on the card, you got Richardson Hitchin. You know what I'm saying?
Coming up
Gamboa, you know, kind of, but Gamboa.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, and then the main event, of course, Javante Tank Davis. So I drove 11 hours up here to see this fight, man.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I could have drove Texas the other way.
Okay.
I said I want to learn something about these fighters.
Wow.
You know, because
That's saying
the reason why, because I seen your kid fight before.
Okay.
On the same card, I seen Richardson Hitchin fight,
Yeah, that's stable.
and it was exciting to watch. So I said, okay, I'm going here
Wow.
because I know it's gonna be. I know the fighters up there. I know Maurice Hooker, Jose Ramirez, and all that.
Right.
But I want to see the fighters that haven't even quite got the halo over their head yet.
Right. Right.
Any last words you want to say to your fight fans out there?
Well,
you know, to support your son.
Yep. Even before we get to just the supporting of my son, you just named a couple fighters. I just want to say, Javante Davis, excellent fighter, 130. We came up in the amateurs together, so I wish him well. But also, like you just said, going out, you were thinking about going to Texas. We got a Philly fighter that's fighting out there, Tevin Farmer, world champion.
Yeah, shout out
so
Tevin
he's
Farmer,
at 130. So, and now a guy that's like my nephew, we're a real tight family, Lamont Roach, just got the notice that he'll be fighting Jamil Herring November 9th for the 130-pound title. So
Nice.
we got us a nice junior lightweight division. So all of those guys I know, you know what I mean? So I wish them well. But coming back to Dylan Price, I'm just looking to take things slow. Young man is 20 years old. We're not hurting for money, so we don't have to fight for money. I just want to take it slow, even though he's excited about moving quickly, and just let him mature. We're working out kinks. I won over 30 national championships in the amateurs, but I found out just this year that it is a difference between the amateurs and the professionals.
Okay.
So as I'm coming into the mindset of the amateurs, one punch doesn't mean anything. In the pros, one punch mean everything.
Absolutely.
In the amateurs, I can hit you and knock you down. That's just like throwing a jab.
Yes.
In the pros, you can throw 50 jabs. I just need to hit you one time and knock you down. So I'm just really learning that whole system. And while I'm learning, I want to take my time so that I can teach him properly, as well as bringing in, like I said, Nate helping out. Mayweather Promotion doing a great job.
Yep.
Joshua Al Heyman, Leonard Ellaby, all those guys. DeJuan Blake from Affiliation Management. We all one family, one team. We're going to get there together.
There you go, fight fans. You heard it from Mr. Price himself. He's the father and also the trainer on the team, Dylan Price, who contends tomorrow here in Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you, sir, for the interview.
Thank you for having me.
It was definitely appreciative. And like I said before, I respect it. And it was one of the better interviews I had, especially somebody who's been in sport as long as you have.
Thanks. Thank you.
Salute and best wishes going in.